Right now. Hey, this is Matthew Harvey here with the 12 o'clock siren, recording live at the 360 Broadband Studios at the Cowboy Corner on the southeast side of the downtown Leonard Square. On my left hand is James No-See-Em Hartley.
I was hoping you were going to go with James Kentucky Chew.
Kentucky Chew, yeah, a little Kentucky Chew. You can feel it burning in your chest.
I like it.
Yeah. Welcome back from a few road trips since we last spoke, but recently to Louisville. How do you pronounce the capital of Kentucky? Is it Louisville or Louisville?
It's Lexington, right?
Frankfurt.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, see, I'm still an idiot.
Yeah. We just had a discussion of a few Kentucky cities off here.
When you went to the distillery in Louisville, did they teach you how to taste whiskey? Did they go through that?
Yeah, that was probably the first memory I have of the lady saying the Kentucky Chew, and she really explained it more so than the other 8 distilleries we went to. For some reason, the first one was the more in-depth. Well, maybe my wife planned it that way. I don't know.
We've been whiskey guys for how long?
A minute.
I've never been taught to properly taste it.
Yeah.
And it was like a revelation.
Yeah.
It was like, you just elevated my experience, and I've been doing this for 2 decades.
Yeah, we came back from there with a totally different appreciation for the bourbon.
And chocolate.
And water.
Yeah, definitely water. Liquid IV.
A lot of water.
Yeah.
Well, we got a exciting one coming up today. Kind of a parlay on an old episode we did with the Texas A&M AgriLife, coincidentally, about chiggers. You weren't part of it, James. That was when you were out, but I talked to a guy about chiggers and ticks.
Was that when I had COVID?
I think you were out. I think you may have been at the border. I can't remember.
I probably was at the border, yeah.
But that is this is going to be an extension of that. One of the top sponsors, the top sponsor of the Leonard Picnic this year, a Grand Slam sponsor, Noble Resource. Oh, my Lord, I'm just messing up. See, if you mess it up, it's more memorable.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Noble Resources Pest Control, based here in Leonard. We've got Andy McAngus. Give it a hand for Andy McAngus.
How you doing, sir?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Terrific. Good. Welcome to the Bridal Suite Podcast Studios.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I have never been to the Bridal Suite Podcast.
No. Yeah. Is this your first podcast?
I did not know what a podcast was till I went to see you guys and Tyrus.
I told him what it was on his phone. I taught him all about it.
Oh, I think he may have changed your life. Not with this podcast, maybe, but with all the available ones out there.
Yeah,
there's some good stuff out there.
You'll end up in a sea of content that you don't know how to swim through.
Yeah, anything you're interested in, there's a podcast about it, I promise.
That's cool.
We're about to talk about probably pest control and bugs, I presume, and there's a lot of bugs and pest control podcasts, I would imagine, too.
I bet there is.
Actually, I'm kind of deep into all that because we do get a whole lot of that stuff, when it comes to us.
Yeah. So, pest control, you're based here in Leonard, Texas, correct?
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into your business.
Okay. Well, I was born in Austin, Texas, back when it wasn't weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
Hold on.
It's funny. Austin used to be cattle capital of Texas.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. So we were farm and ranch growing up. Yeah.
Yep.
And
whereabouts in Austin?
Actually, you want to hear this? This is a cool story. Right now, there is a place called Circuit of the Americas on our old farm.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Those people bought it from us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Directly from you?
Directly from us, yeah.
Wow. Cool.
So that's where we ranched at. So we had cattle on that piece of property. And anyway, Dad got to working for the state testing for Bang's disease in cattle, and they put him up and moved him up north, and so I went to school in Kerens, Texas. Little bitty town.
K-E-A?
K-E-R-R. K-E-R-E-N-S. And what's funny is, if Leonard does really well in sports, they're kind of the second round of playoffs if Kerens has done well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's how you've met up with them in
so I was thinking Kerrville.
No, you're thinking downhill country. No, this is just about 2 hours south of us.
Isn't there a Kearney, K-E-A-R-N-E, like Bernie?
Is that like? Well, okay, wait. No, so I know where Kerens is, but I'm trying. Is it like Athens?
Athens.
Oh, okay.
Between
Yeah.
Athens and Corsicana.
Got
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Yep.
So I grew up and went to school down there.
All right. How many acres that went to the COTA?
Say it again.
How many acres went to the Circuit of Americas?
Oh, that was a 200-acre piece of property.
Nice.
When you were in Kearns, then did y'all ever play Buffalo, Texas?
I think Buffalo was a little far out of our region. I think we'd get them if we got playoffs. But
Gotcha.
yeah, we'd play like Malakoff.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's just stuff real close. And back in the day, we didn't travel very far at all.
Yeah.
Now
Not
that-
like now.
Nowadays, I look, I'm like, man, that's like an hour and a half trip.
Yeah,
No.
I don't understand how it works. We should probably talk to Garrett Todd again.
Yeah.
I don't understand how all the
districting.
districting works.
Yeah, so it was shocking to see some of this stuff. Like I know Leonard at one point played Ponder.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if I get a job in Ponder, I charge travel time.
Isn't that on the west side of 35?
That's over in Denton.
Yeah.
I mean, past Denton. Yeah.
Solid 2 hours
Yeah.
Easy.
by
easy.
380.
Silly.
Yeah.
See, when we were in school, if we played sports, we're back home asleep by 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anymore, they almost need a motel. But anyway,
Is that where you graduated school from?
I did graduate from there. Yes, I did.
What brought you here?
What brought me here? Okay, this is a great question. So I started.
We all ask ourselves that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny looking back. So, ended up having to move north to go to school at North Texas because that's what the funds would allow. We wanted to go to some other bigger.
We spent some
fancier-
time in Denton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, want to go to some fancy schools with some pretty logos and great football teams, and the check just wasn't going to clear. So we did plan. I think we were like Plan G because we got
Plan
through
UNT.
ABC. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So we went to UNT and did that little
Sure.
thing. And while I was doing that, I was working at a country club and helping the guys with the greens and clubhouse and all that good stuff. And somebody had to go take a test to get a license to apply pesticides on the golf course because we had
okay.
some new rules to play with. And they're like, well, you're a schoolboy. You go take the test.
Yeah.
So I went and took the test and got the license and still have the original license from.
Did you say, hey, guess what? Now you signed a contract.
So I go back and visit occasionally, and I'm like, thanks for the boost, guys.
That's
So
funny. What course?
I was at Las Colinas Sports Club. So we had the Byron Nelson there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Over there by is it the Four Seasons?
Four Seasons.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's one of the only places, one of the few places in the Metroplex that has Pappy behind the bar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We had Pappy at Sevy's.
Really?
2 bottles.
Really?
Yeah.
Neighborhood service?
Nobody wanted it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was right before the whole boom started. We had Angel's Envy in there. Nobody drank it.
Wow.
We had all kinds of stuff. Nobody drank it. I mean, I say nobody.
Neighborhood
People
services.
that knew about it.
Neighborhood services has it.
I want to say it was like 25 a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, now it's
Yeah,
100.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Anywho.
It's not even that good, really.
Whiskey
fine.
sidebar.
Yeah.
I'd sniff it all the time.
Oh, yeah. I
you
mean,
know?
it's whiskey. It's
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah.
but it's not worth $100 a pour,
Yeah.
you know.
We used to work for Coppell YMCA that dipped down into the Las Colinas region. What school was that?
Capel? I mean,
Yeah,
that
but
was
I
Capel
guess it was
ISD.
Irving.
Yeah.
It's all a weird
Yeah,
mix of cities over there. Las
yeah.
Colinas, Irving,
Yeah.
and Coppell.
Yep.
Anywho. So you started squashing bugs on the golf course.
Well, just had to have a license because even though the country club's private, the public is there. So you had to have a license to apply pesticides when the public's there.
Okay.
So I just got the piece of paper to hang on the wall so we could do our thing. And everything was great and everybody was happy. So I got that. Well, I started realizing that there's a better way of living than the golf course. And
They just employed me and they didn't realize it.
and I've got this new license now. So I
Yeah.
went a little nuts.
I think I would have probably gone and hit every other golf course.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's
the,
it.
the crazy thing was, so I actually go down to one of the supply houses to get some stuff to apply on the golf course for Pest, obviously. And there's a red Mercedes in the parking lot, and I go in to buy the stuff we're gonna, spray. I say, who's got the red Mercedes? And they go, that guy's name is Craig. He has a pest control company. And I'm like, I think I want to be like Craig. So that's how
Craig Orkin.
that's how it all got started.
Orkin's still around?
Orkin's around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Orkin's a pretty good company.
I haven't seen their trucks in a while.
No, they're in this area. They're not as thick, but all the respect in the world for those guys. They do a pretty nice job.
I do see your truck around.
Well, I know because I drive all day.
I see it.
Yeah.
Around.
That's how I got into sales. Saw people with Rolexes and driving nice cars, and I was like, what do these guys do?
Something's going on here I need to know
Yeah.
about. So anyway,
Yeah.
it was just kind of a natural thing for me.
Okay. So was Noble Resources your first startup, or did you buy it out? You build it from ground up? Did you?
Well, Noble Resources is kind of a third generation type thing here.
Okay.
So it all started out with something called, I worked for a couple other guys for a few years to kind of get my feet wet. And then I started something called Quality Exterminating because I wanted an old sounding name.
Okay.
And did real well with that. Got a real nice offer and sold that to a fella.
Okay.
And then another guy needed help because he didn't have a license, and I did. So I went with him for a couple of years, all seasons pest control in the Hearst area. And then it just hit me. So I guess we can tell the truth about these names and things. So I've been ready to start the next one and kind of the one I'm going to retire with. How's that? So I'm going to build this. I'm going to build this house with a good foundation. So I knew I was going to take it slow. So I needed a good name, and all those names like Terminex and had an X in it. I just didn't want an X in it.
Negative connotation.
There's something about the X in that pest control name, and of course, exterminator. It all ties in, but
dead with an X on the eyes cartoon.
Yes. I just wanted to
Poison.
avoid that, and I wanted a name if I ever decided to do something like maybe build houses or something. I could use that name for other things too.
Sure.
So I came up with Noble Resources. So Noble's a Bible word, and Resources is on a bottle of whiskey.
There you go.
So I figured,
I think it all comes back to whiskey.
it all does come
humor,
back to whiskey.
humor, and whiskey.
So I thought that's a little bit of balance right there. So
Yeah, I like maybe the pivot to propane.
to propane.
Propane. Noble Resources. I don't even know if it is a noble gas, but that's where my mind
There
goes.
is. There's a noble. There's some noble gases on the periodic table.
Or just go to Noble Gases, and that'd be a nice little
Yeah.
pivot with the name you took.
Yeah. There you go. So it's funny too because sometimes I say it's no bull. Pest
No
control.
bull. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
No bull.
We play with all of it.
So when was NR Pest born?
NR Pest license became effective in 1997.
I mean, you said you started with that license. Was that at the golf course? You carry that with you?
That's
Is that
me.
how it
Yeah.
works?
That started back in '86.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
that's when I actually got to be part of the industry. And then 97 is when I decided, okay, it's time to do this one last time and do it big and do it right. And I decided
97 was NR.
it was NR. That's
Okay.
when NR became something. So, and instead of doing it big, I decided I'd rather do it more right. So it went real slow, real small, and made a conscious effort to keep it small.
Cool. And where was that? Where'd you begin?
Began actually in North Dallas.
Okay.
Started out of an apartment, actually, and that's kind of how I got to Leonard. So I'm in this apartment, which I'm not a big fan of, but it kind of suited my needs at the time. And noticed a lot of crime and a whole lot of crazy things I wasn't real excited about.
Yeah.
Went to McKinney. We done a little job up there and picked up a newspaper and found a place for rent in Leonard and said, you know what, that might be the deal.
Might be the move, huh?
So took plunge.
A
moved
newspaper, kids.
on. Yeah.
Those are
An
things that we used to
advertisement in a
read.
newspaper, kids.
Yeah.
to live there.
So that'd be around 2000 when that happened. So anyway, moved to Leonard 2000, and I guess here we are a few years later.
Had to get the MapsCo out.
Did.
Yep.
You know.
Still
Print 'em
got them.
off.
Really?
Still got them. I love those stupid things.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody will tell me they live in Grapevine. I say, you live in 14Y.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, you're actually right. And I go, I know. I live by those silly things.
Yeah, we used to use it when I worked at Domino's driving in Frisco.
When
Yeah.
you were a
Big
sales
map on the
rep
wall.
for.
Sales rep for XYZ Enterprises.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love
Domino's
those.
subsidiary.
And my wife wants to throw those books out, and I'm like, you will not. They're keepers.
Timeless.
I remember
Might
thinking.
need them one day.
Yeah, the way things are going, dust them off.
May need them.
You know, I remember when MapsQuest came along and you could print out directions, and it was like, oh, this is brilliant. You know,
Yeah.
And I still use it. I still use it. And to this day, I actually, if we have any trouble with just the GPS in the phone, I go back to MapQuest.
Yeah.
And bingo, there you usually get it.
Yeah,
That's
when
funny.
I worked at the Ticket and the Wolf, when we'd go to the station to get our stuff, and usually like 3 pages of directions to where the remote was to drive to.
Exactly. There you go.
Strange times.
And of course, out here, you ask somebody where something is, and they're, okay, yellow mailbox, take a left.
Oh, yeah.
Oak tree, kind of lean over the road, go past that a quarter mile.
Yeah.
So you talk to the old folks and you get some strange directions.
We used to navigate that way. I mean,
It worked.
it worked.
And to this day, my father-in-law say, okay, you go down by the Henry place, and then you turn at the Jeffrey place. And I don't know who had all these places. I wasn't here back in the 60s and 70s.
He's navigating by the county's CAD,
Yeah.
like old property names, and
Yeah.
legal addresses.
Exactly.
There's G-Todd.
So,
So when you started in North Dallas, are you focusing on residential, commercial?
No, I actually started all commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, I like commercial. We do both. No problem. I like commercial because I like Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Yeah.
yeah.
And don't do restaurants unless I can do it Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Yeah.
Residential require after hours?
No, but residential, someone gets home at 3:30 or 4, so you got this. And it's just a little more challenging.
Yeah.
And I don't know, commercial just suited my needs. I don't know, because what I ended up doing was I used the commercial work. I would go in, and this is back before 9/11 and all that kind of crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you go into a commercial building, you bolt through that thing. You know, it didn't
Yeah.
matter.
No badges, no.
Next thing you know, you're in the president's office and everything. How are you? How's the kids? Man, nice golf clubs in the corner.
You're taking the stairwell up, I suppose?
Yeah,
or
you know,
are you sweeping it, basically?
There was no magnetic locks and stuff, so it was
Yeah.
pretty easy. So basically, when I'd go in there,
Thanks a lot, Bin Laden.
yeah. So I mean, I was a talker. I always been a good talker. So I'd go in there and get to visit. And next thing you know, we're going to work on his house next Thursday.
Yeah.
His mother-in-law's house next Tuesday. And next thing you know, everybody in the building were doing their house.
Cool.
Right.
It was such an easy thing. And then here we go, 9/11. A lot of security, a lot of crazy. And I just remember downtown Dallas was shut down.
Yeah.
It was just, I mean, as a matter of fact, I went downtown Dallas and they told me to just leave, just get out of here. We don't know what's happening. So, and that's when
On 9/11.
and that's when things changed. But I was very lucky that I'd already been in for a little while and had my foot in the door. So we were luckier than somebody starting up right after that because there was just no way to see the guy that made the choices, decisions.
Yeah. So you continue with commercials, stick with it?
I still do. We've got quite a bit of Dallas commercial work. I just like that. I don't know why. It's just kind of fun for me. I do a lot of that and a ton of residential. Obviously, in this area, you're going to get more residential.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we do all kinds of stuff. We do small colleges and universities in the area.
Cool.
A lot of school districts.
Cool.
A lot of these houses. And you've probably seen us at yours.
Yep. Yep.
So
I get the notification every once in a while.
every now and then, about every 3 months. So.
Yep. Universities.
We've been with Austin College
Cool.
for about 15 years now. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, what a great, what a good bunch of people up there. So
Alma mater of Claude Webb of the Garhole.
That's right.
is that
That's
right?
where the Garhole
Yep.
got its name, was Austin College.
I was just up in Louisville talking to the 123rd Contingency Response Group Commander, Fulberg Colonel, and he asked me where I was from, and I told him a little town called Leonard, Texas, and he said, I almost played basketball he's like 6'8", for Austin College.
Oh,
I was
cool.
like, whoa. Like, just random person that knows Austin College in
Yeah.
Kentucky.
And knew it was in Sherman.
Yeah. And knew
Not
where
Austin.
Leonard was.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
Wild stuff. Did
Texas.
you go to college?
I went to North Texas.
That's right. We talked about
Yeah.
I don't remember 10 minutes
Yeah.
ago.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah,
I did press record, didn't I? Okay, good.
Yeah,
that's good.
No, I did the deal where I went to school in the evenings. I worked all day and went to school all evening, and oh gosh, it was a lot. But a lot of things are a lot. So
Yeah. So what? This is a question I had earlier that I thought of. What's the worst? Well, first off, what county was the worst infestation you may have ever seen?
Oh, that's a great question because there's been
Just give me the county, and then we'll narrow it down from there.
I can tell you probably right now.
I'm curious.
Well, we've had some issues. I mean, there's been things in every county, but I'm trying to think of just the worst.
Let's go for the worst one ever. What do you think that was?
Well, I mean,
What?
Top 5, whatever.
Well,
Something that jumps out.
okay,
At you.
the one I'll never forget was going to be basically in Euless, Texas.
Okay.
And it was a
Mid
weird.
cities. I knew it.
Yeah.
When you said Hearst, I knew there was a good story coming.
If he would have said Dallas County, I was like Pleasant Grove.
Yeah, so this is going to be Tarrant County.
For the
'cause they're
record,
just over
that's
the line.
Tarrant, right?
Yeah, just
Okay.
past the line, or just
Okay.
past the airport. But
Yeah.
it's one of those that never leaves you.
What
What
was the subject?
It was German roaches, those little kitchen
Okay.
nasty guys.
Woo.
It's a sanitation issue. I mean, it always is. Very seldom do you get this problem in something that's pretty well kept and clean and all that stuff. But, there's clutter and there's all this stuff. But the thing that makes it one of the worst, in my opinion, is I finished the job, I left, and I stopped 3 times on the way home shaking roaches out of my clothes.
Oh, no.
Yes, it was raining roaches. When you start spraying, they climb. And the white ceiling became black.
Oh.
And they're falling, and they're just millions and millions. And it's just like just a bad movie.
So are you full suited up with respirator or anything? You go in there?
Not in those days.
Are you kidding?
You go in there with a bandana?
Yeah, no.
You pull your shirt up?
Oh, it was the
Sony
worst.
Walkman and some big headphones like we're wearing now, man.
A Sony Walkman.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, back in the day, we didn't worry about
yellow
anything.
thing.
No safety. That was optional stuff, and I wasn't an optional kind of guy.
Well, I didn't know what year it was. I just knew the county.
It was So anyway, it would be Tarrant County. That one, but there's been so many crazy things. My wife told me, she says, you really, really, really need to write a book one day about the craziest stuff you've ever seen, because there are so many.
Trying to dig into it.
It's almost humorous, because everything to me goes back to funny. Just because things, I just look at everything.
This is hilarious.
Everything is hilarious when you look at it the right way. So, and I guess it's a good way to convert some crazy stuff. But one of the craziest stories was that it's 8 a.m. I go to a house and knock on the door, and the lady's getting ready to go to work, and she says, just lock it up when you're done. Thank you very much. Checks on the kitchen counter. And done that a million times. No big deal.
Yeah.
I'm spraying along, doing my little thing, and I'm looking at the pictures on the wall, and it's pretty quiet. And I go into one of the bedrooms, and one of the beds is kind of close to the wall, so I have to kind of walk sideways, kind of scooch down to get all the way to the edge of the wall. And so I'm scooching down, the bed lifts up. Somebody was in the bed. One of the kids was playing hooky.
Oh, my.
And they nearly got a new back door.
Wow.
You went somewhere.
It was not good. And this is back before cell phones and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, it was not good. But that kid raised up and scared me to pieces, because I was just in a whole nother world.
So that was a terror story about cockroaches and a child in bed. Pest is in the name. What is the variety of pests that fall under that name that you take care of?
Oh my gosh. We take care of spiders, crickets, scorpions, silverfish, wasp.
Silverfish wasp?
Silverfish. Yeah, those little guys will eat the bindings in books. They'll eat the glue. It's kind of almost a library pest. Interesting stuff.
Wasp?
Wasp.
Do you say a silverfish wasp?
No. Just a silverfish.
Oh,
and then
I see what you're
wasp.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever had any snake encounters?
Yeah, we don't do snakes.
I don't like snakes.
I don't like snakes. I've got some snake repellent stuff, and I've got some really large glue boards, but I don't even have those tongs if I actually see it.
No, that's not my job.
So the great story, I guess this would be about chapter 10. The wife calls me at work one day, and she says, hey, how do you like your new golf gloves? And I said, man, they're awesome. She goes, how much does a 7-iron cost? And I said, I don't know. I'm guessing probably, this kind of a nice set of gloves, probably $100, $120. She goes, well, you need a new one because I just killed a snake with yours.
Last year I was down at the river, and I took my kids down there, and we were hanging out.
Guadalupe, which river you go to?
Yeah, Guadalupe.
Yeah.
And we were down at that Camp Fimfo.
Okay.
And we're kind of wading in the water, and it's hot, and I go to kind of in push-up position to sink under the water, and I look down, and right below me, this far from my face, is a snake. And I came up out the water, and so we were looking at it, and it never moved. It was a fake snake.
Oh.
Somebody had somehow it had gotten lodged in some rocks, and let me tell you.
You've seen the video of the guy fishing with a snake off the bridge?
Yes.
It looks like the Guadalupe
It
River.
is. It is. Yeah. It's the hill country. I know it's. Yeah. But that snake. So my son went and picked it up, and I was like, "Oh my! No, okay, it's fake. Got it." He brought it back and put it in my parents' bed.
No way.
And about
snake lives on
6 o'clock in the morning, I hear my mom. We were staying over there, and I hear my mom scream, and I thought, So I come running in there, and
you didn't know.
I didn't know,
Yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't know he did that. So I didn't know if, like, I don't know, my dad was having some sort of medical emergency or something. I come out of the guest room and go to their room, and she's got that snake laid across her bed. My kids are laughing. I was like, oh.
Hate those stupid things.
Maybe the short answer is, what don't you
Well, I don't know, because like we have
terminate?
We have a mosquito fogging truck. We go and do small towns. Obviously, all these around here local, we do that.
Do they still let kids chase that?
Yeah. Well, actually,
Y'all still let the kids drink out of the spigot?
We go after dark now, so we don't have to have the kids and all that silly stuff. But
I don't remember that as a kid.
But you don't?
No.
I did. I chased it.
I never even saw one, actually.
It was whole different products back then. That stuff was wicked.
It was like Agent Orange.
Yeah. That was the DDT days. That was crazy. And I had no idea. We're riding a bike back there with an ice cream cone in your hand, licking away on it. Yeah, it's all good.
DDT cream.
Obviously, it didn't affect me too badly. Yeah. Not too badly.
That twitch is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. We'll go down that. That's going to be chapter 16
he doesn't have a twitch,
in the book.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. But the snake one, back on the snake, someone will call the office and they'll say, hey, I'm going to start describing a snake. And I'll say,
sorry, wrong number.
I couldn't tell you a thing about it. I've never seen one up close because I'm always going the other way.
Yeah.
I just don't mess with snakes. I absolutely.
Which way is it going? Go the other way.
And I've been under a house. I was doing an inspection, and there was one way in and one way out. And I get into this house, and I'm checking it out, and I go to come out, and there's a snake right there where it's the place to crawl out from under the house. I spent the better part of the day under that house because I wasn't going to mess with that snake.
I called James no-see-em.
Yeah.
Is that a real term for
it? It is, yeah. Yeah, it's basically a gnat. Yeah. It's in the gnat family. And you go to Louisiana, and no-see-ems.
Beaches is when I run into them all the time.
Yes. Yeah, a real moisture issue.
The love bug?
No, it's not a love bug. No.
You actually don't see them? Are they that small?
They're pretty small.
It's not just a clever name.
They're irritating. Oh, my gosh. They'll drive you nuts.
But the actual name is no-see-em, not just
you can actually look that up, and it'll be in the dictionary, no-see-ems. But they're just a real tiny gnat. They're irritating as can be.
What are your top three pests around this area, North Texas?
Top three pests. Honestly, rats and mice are a big deal here. We're obviously being in the country, and with all this new construction, what happens, they start building, and they got to go, and they're moving. Yeah. So we deal with rats and mice quite a bit. Termites have always been a really big thing. They like our soil type up here really well. And
speaking of termites, are there any house builders that just build termite poison into the frame?
We actually do that.
Yeah.
Like while they're building it?
Yes. Yeah, we do a ton of that. So that's pre-construction stuff. So what'll happen if you say you're building a house?
It's a good question then.
That is a good question.
It's a great question.
I thought about it the other day. I'm like, why wouldn't somebody do this?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what we did back in the day is before you poured your concrete slab, if you were going that direction, we would come and we would actually treat that soil before you poured. You're going to pull plastic and do all that stuff. And then you're going to. So we'd treat that soil beforehand. And it was just difficult to schedule and all that stuff. Well, they come out with a new product, and it's a borate, which basically it's similar to what's in some of your laundry detergents. It's like borax. Yeah. It's a borate, and it sprays onto the wood studs. And so we treat the studs before they get the walls in and all that stuff.
They don't like it.
They can't do anything with it. They'll try, and it wipes them out. It's really green, though. That's what's
kills them?
It kills them.
Okay.
It kills them. They'll try.
Where do they come from?
They're subterranean, so they're underground.
Ah.
And there may be a huge colony somewhere,
Never know.
Never know.
The first house I built, the contractor built they put a port and they put tubes all through my house. So when I would get pest control, they'd just come up to my house and shove this thing on. And
yeah, see, I've been opposed to that forever.
I don't know.
I was kind of on a committee and we got to discuss that, and I kind of got shot down. But I didn't like that because it's in the wall. You can't really tell if it's working or not. So let's just say you inject that stuff into the wall, and the first joint where the tubing meets breaks. You stuck all the junk in the first 5 feet of the house. Oh my gosh!
Never any bugs there.
Nothing there, but the rest of the house, it's like. Yeah. So I never thought that was the best idea.
Right.
Because it doesn't give the guy a chance to walk around the house and just inspect things and make sure everything's cool. It's kind of an easy fix. Just go.
Are there termite mounds around here?
No, typically.
Why not?
They're underground, but when we were in, gosh, I can't think. We were.
I mean, I've seen them in Africa
Yes, you'll see
where they're just 10-foot.
a totally different termite. Our
Gotcha.
guy here is called the Eastern Subterranean termite, and what you'll see if you see anything at all, if you have a concrete slab house, you'll see a little dirt tube coming up the side about the size of a drinking straw, and they'll be in that, and that's how they shelter themselves because they need moisture and they'll dry out and die.
Gotcha.
So these little guys are survivors. They are so smart. But they'll get in there, and craziest thing about these things, they don't even have eyes. They don't even have teeth. They use an enzyme to break the wood down. So they take wood and take it back to paper.
Yeah.
And you talk about
Break it down.
And in say the forest or something, it's a great thing because a tree falls, it dissolves. I mean, they basically break it back down. So they're beneficial. But they're not
In the right place.
In the right place, just like anything. So.
Yep. Okay, so we got cockroaches, termites.
Yeah.
What else? What else you killing out there? Rats, mice.
Gosh, the rats, mice are crazy. Actually,
Mosquitoes. You said fogging is typical. We got a truck. You can
We've actually got a few different ways of taking care of mosquitoes around a residential setting. We have backpack foggers. The guys come and they'll blow some stuff out there and in the shrubs and all around the trees, around them outside the house. It does a great job. A couple of years ago, they came out with a thing called an into care pot, and I'm always skeptical. So I didn't jump on board. But what it is, it's this round pot, holds a gallon of water. It looks like a speaker or a spittoon or something crazy, big round thing. And it's got this filter that goes in it with this biological something or another that's on that filter. So when the mosquitoes fly in there to get to that water, they touch that. When they get that on it, they fly out. They put that everywhere, like the bird bath, the paint can they didn't throw out, or the tires back there that had water standing in them.
Yep.
The mosquitoes actually take that all around, and it amazingly enough, they don't reproduce.
Huh.
They're pretty crazy. So it's some pretty neat technology. We've come a long, long ways in pest control. Long ways.
I like my thermocell.
Yeah.
I carry a thermocell a lot
Yep.
when I'm out hiking and stuff.
Yep.
Seems to work.
I tell you what I really enjoy, and I told you about it at the picnic, is the electric tennis racket.
Yeah.
My Lord,
That's
I've never
fun.
had so much fun.
That's just fun.
I mean, adult toy that's what it is.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
No,
right?
that came out wrong. But
Sorry about that. But
it is of a type. though.
It is a.
Not for children toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop there.
That's hilarious.
But
It's
yeah, that,
along the same lines as a bug assault.
yeah, between that and
Yeah.
the bug assault gun,
That is
that's
just
about the most fun you can have
Totally.
killing bugs.
That's so much entertainment.
So flies, you do anything about that? Anything
We
you can
do,
do? I know
yeah.
there's not a lot.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. Flies are a tough one because they're always, every time we have a fly job, there's some sanitation situation.
Right.
There's
Yep.
something going on because
Something's pooping too
flies,
much.
That's pretty much it. So, and out where we live, a lot of times there's cattle nearby, stuff like that. So
Yep.
flies are a toughie, but like I say, the stuff we when we put the stuff out for the mosquitoes, it kills flies, gnats, mosquitoes.
Okay.
And the way we mix it, and we don't want to hurt wasp in this particular situation. We don't want to hurt wasp or bees.
Yeah, definitely no bees.
We don't want to hurt bees ever.
I'm not really too bothered by wasp.
I got hit by a wasp a couple weeks ago for the first time in probably 10 years. It was awful.
And it hurt like the dickens.
It
did.
did for about 20 minutes, and then it was fine.
I got 2 on my waistband
Oof.
a couple years ago.
It went through my shirt,
Yeah,
my pectoral muscle, like thereof.
But
I
for
never-
the most part, they don't really bother me. They stay to their own. If I see a big nest, I'll be inclined to tear it down.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
the other day, I saw one at my parents' house, and I didn't.
yeah.
I was really proud of myself.
I hate dirt daubers.
They're the absolute worst. There's so little prevention for those, you know, and they make such a mess.
Fun story. Dad used to, and when I was a kid, we the pool pump area would get kind of wet. You know, the dirt daubers would just migrate there. He'd sit there with like a cowboy hat and just ting, 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 you're killing them. Mass murdering dirt daubers, you know.
Yes.
Ting.
Yeah. See, I figured there's so many dirt daubers in this area. One of these towns is going to have the Dirt Dauber Festival.
Yeah.
I just think it's coming.
My buddy's
Like Chiggerfest or whatever.
That's it.
when I was a kid, my friend's parents' garage was like black dots.
Yeah.
Like nothing but black dots on it.
And you
Remember?
can't, you can knock it down
They
a
were on
little
a
bit.
farm, so
but-
it was okay.
All you can do is paint over it. It's just,
Yeah.
it's so irritating. Gosh, I hate those stupid things.
Yeah. So the bag of water for flies. Does
You
it
know
work?
what? Okay, there is
with a penny in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've not heard taking it up a notch, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a penny?
I thought those
I've
were
never heard that. I thought it was just a bag of water.
No.
I've heard it works.
Well, that's why my flies didn't go away.
Yeah, you didn't put your penny in.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, put a quarter in there and see if you get 25% more out.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I've heard it works.
I like the
I've heard
math.
there's a lot of those old things that really do work, and some of them are just silly. But
All right, what's the most effective standard residential, sticky strips, or what's something you would recommend for somebody just shopping at Walmart
well, I mean,
for a quick
it depends on what you're going for. If you're going for flies, I do
flies
Like, I do
for
like
in
those.
the fly world?
Yep.
Sticky things seem to work a lot,
Sticky things do well. Yep.
and they definitely attract.
Yes. But anytime you call and say you're having flies, we're going to come check things out and see what's going on. There's a reason.
Okay.
There's a reason. If it's a restaurant, there's a drain. There's
Yeah.
something, they put the dumpster right at the back door. It's like, come on, guys, you can't do that
Right.
with a south wind blowing them right into the door. So it's 99% of this stuff is just common sense.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. It sounds like no standing water, no trash.
Yeah.
A little bit of
And people,
prevention.
it's kind of funny. People get mad at you for telling them. I hate to say this, but you need to make a few improvements.
Clean your house.
You need to
up.
clean your house.
That's the main thing.
Philistines.
They don't, and the problem.
Make your bed.
In this day and age, you have to be, pretty professional,
Sensitive.
very sensitive. So the word is sanitation. We used it over and over again. It's like, better
Your
sanitation.
living conditions
I mean-
are optimal
And
for
we haven't even started on bed bugs yet. And that,
do you treat
They're hard to
bed
get
bugs?
rid of, right?
they're very hard to get rid of. They're expensive to treat.
I just made friends with them. I just kept them all these years.
Yeah. And just name them. That's cool. But what's so funny is they came from somewhere, and people act like they just showed up. And so I'm kind of at the point in my life where I'm like, I'm going to mess with these people. So I'm like, so what garage sale did you go to last week?
Right.
Yeah.
But the funniest of all these is we've got some customers in the fancy areas like Highland Park.
Yeah.
Kid will come home from college, bring bed bugs.
Oh,
It's
man.
like,
Oh,
Well,
they're
a
all
friend of mine-
embarrassed,
A friend of mine-
socially.
A
Yep.
friend of mine asked me what you do for lice to get lice removed.
okay, lice is going to fall under medical stuff. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
a friend of mine asked me.
Yeah. So
Well, you don't have any hair, so.
I know.
yeah. No. We
It's
do
all
get,
on my chin. I got chin lice.
we get those calls.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
incredible.
And we technically say
Like Leonard Pharmacy.
almost, go to the pharmacy, get
some
some of the-
Rid.
Some Rid is a great thing, and then take your sheets and bedding and stuff and wash it in hot water.
And what second grader have you been hanging out with?
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, like
So,
I never heard about lice after second grade.
yeah.
It was not even an issue.
It's funny,
I mean, lice proper.
Yeah. I know. I'm just,
but there's nothing I can do to help you. I mean, that's not that's not part of the
But
pest
I wore a
control
bunch
field.
of people's hats in high school
Oh,
or in
well,
it was
college.
never a problem.
And it was never an issue. Why was second grade so tough to break through?
Yep. So
Never understood that part.
And it's funny if you look back. Most of these problems started in somebody's house, and it's like
Yeah. Because they left their trash out.
or they would have the kids that would always come to school sick and get everybody else sick,
Yeah.
and they're the ones that got the bed bugs. They're the ones, it's like there's always one group that just is just the town problem.
Yep. That's
Try to identify them early.
yep.
yeah. Stay away from them.
That's pretty much it.
It's like what's the kid from Charlie Brown? Pigpen?
Pigpen, yeah. That's the
See
kid.
his orb.
Oh my gosh.
So you mentioned being on a committee for an association.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. What
Okay.
association? I'm curious.
Texas Pest Control Association. So I've been involved with that since
Texas Pest
Control
Association. Okay.
TPCA. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Really good organization. I've been very involved with that for years. Ironically, we're in Leonard, Texas, but we're considered the Dallas chapter.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at the map, it's like, okay. So I basically was whatever you could do for the Dallas chapter over the years. I've been president, secretary, you name it, did all that. And got the call one day, and they said, okay, need to move it up just a little bit and come do the state thing. So when you do that, so first year I was the secretary, then I was the treasurer, then I was the vice president, and in 2022 I was the president of the association.
Wow.
So it's pretty nice. What it does is we're very political.
Yeah.
And I'm not a
I'm
political
sure there's
person.
a PAC associated with it.
There is a PAC. Yeah, because here's what happens. So many bills get tucked in behind something else. And so much legislation happens that gets slid through that no one ever catches. So it's kind of our job to be the watchdog to make sure that bad things didn't happen.
Yep.
And our main focus has always been consumer protection, safety for the people that we serve. And you would not believe some of the decisions that look really good on paper that are horrible. Just like as of right now, California is outlawing the pesticides for rats and mice that we've been using for years because there's been some concern that it might damage some owls, other animals.
But they're fine with 60,000 people pooping on the streets.
That's different.
And going into the Pacific Ocean.
Puberty blockers.
That's cool.
That's different. Needles on the ground. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. But boy, the rat bait, we're scared of that. So get rid of that.
Right.
Well, now they're having some terrible, terrible problems with the rats and mice, which is now, if you look back at history.
What did you say? Just clean your place up and you'll get rid of them?
Clean your place up.
It's funny how
helps
I was going to
lot.
say this is an example of a really bigger story that can
Gavin
be told.
Newsom, are you listening?
Yeah, I think he
Come
just
on,
started
Gavin.
acting.
Please don't call, Gavin. I'm busy tomorrow. Just don't call.
New scum.
News company.
Yeah. You gotta love the political names.
But the problem is, if you look at the history of everything, anything that happens in California starts working its way this year. This way, it takes about 10 years.
like Californians.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. And so we're dealing with that. So what we're doing right now is those of us that really are industry oriented versus just your own company. So
Sure.
I really care about the industry. We're writing papers. We're making phone calls. We're sending letters. We're doing all this stuff, saying, look at history. Look at Great Britain. Look at London. Let's look at some of the diseases of the rats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's look at some plagues and
The
things.
plague.
The
Yeah.
plague. There's a reason why they had the plague.
How
And-
bad does it have to be called the plague?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Duh.
Like in sports, it's the
You have-
open.
you
It's
have-
the big one.
You have the pill, the open,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the plague.
The
Exactly.
devil, the Christ, the plague.
So anyway, they're
Yeah.
going to experience some pretty nutty stuff pretty soon. Restaurants are going to be closing and things. I mean, because you can't control these guys without the proper equipment.
Yeah.
And like I say, we're all about safety, doing it the right way. And the California pest control guys are doing it the right way. It's just
I'm gonna add pest control to my stump speeches when I run for office.
Yeah.
yeah.
Get some of that PAC money.
Yep.
Yeah. Who makes up the committee?
Well, the committee changes all the time, and I'm currently off the committees, but and the wife's really happy because I was gone a whole lot,
Yeah.
and I gotta admit, it's kind of fun. You got a pretty good group of guys, and every now and then you get just that right bunch of guys.
Y'all playing golf and
We were playing
making
golf.
sure there's
and
no
closing down the bar. and we
no
was having a-
CMs out there.
That's it. Well, we were trying to kill bugs with golf balls.
Sure. Yeah.
So if you
it's
hit,
a write-off.
Yeah, exactly. So if you hit the ball right and kill some bugs, that is business. So anyway, that's what we did a whole lot of. But right now I'm off. But there is another committee that it's actually part of the Department of Agriculture, and they're wanting input from people from the industry that aren't, So I might sign up for that. I don't know.
Okay.
It's tough, but it's been a lot of fun. I gotta admit, it's pretty crazy because I was never big into the government side of things. It's amazing how crafty people are, man.
Somebody's got to care about
So
us and the general public.
and I'm all about saving the honeybees and things because trust me, I'm in agriculture too, so I get it. I totally get it. You should see some of the legislation that comes through there about honeybee things. It's
sure.
oh, these people are
So-
scary.
Have you ever been standing somewhere where a whole hive flies by you?
Yes.
Yeah. Have
yes.
you?
They,
My God. How
they
many
will-
times in your life?
Once or twice.
Yeah, twice for me. Pretty
Yeah.
incredible.
and if you just be still, they'll move.
Yeah, totally fine.
Yeah.
And they'll typically find like a limb or something and look like a beach ball in a tree. But
Right.
that's the swarm, and we get a lot of calls for that. And we say, you know what? Call me back 24 hours.
They'll
If
be
they're
gone.
still there, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
But they're going to be gone. So we don't know. I mean, they're doing
That's
their thing.
the craziest thing I've ever seen. One of
Yeah,
them.
it's just part of what bees do.
We had bees when I was younger. Lived with my parents. We had bees at their house, and we had to get them extracted.
Yes.
In a like personal bees or bees that came in
Yeah.
as invaders.
Yeah, like just one day we had we
Yep.
noticed our wall was humming
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
on the outside.
I know you were
dangerous.
farming bees.
And it's
No.
probably been going on a while when that happens too.
Yeah.
And you just didn't see it.
Right.
And all of a sudden, yep. So you've got honey in the comb in your wall and everything.
Yep. It was a big deal.
That's what they're going for?
What's that?
Honey in the comb?
they're-
That's what's going to be in the
That's-
wall.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
what
I
they're
thought there's
making
some in
it.
the
So-
product they're going for.
So
No.
once the bees are removed, you've got that problem to deal
Bees
with.
make honey, Matthew.
Yeah, I get that. But I thought there was like maybe
Matthew,
a particle board that
your mom
used
gave
honey
me-
or some
Oh,
sort
no.
of chemical or that represents a resin that's honey-ish.
No. But what's happened once the bees are
Misunderstood.
removed, all that remains. And so
Sure.
now think about this:
Now
you
you
got
got-
honey in a wall,
Yeah.
you got ants,
Yeah,
and you're gonna have stink. You're gonna have. I
Yeah.
mean, it just
You have cockroaches.
It was expensive too.
it is very expensive, and it's a little bit dangerous when you're doing it too. So I mean, there's all that stuff, but it's pretty
Saw a
crazy.
guy smoke a hive one time.
That's pretty crazy. That's
Yeah.
I've seen that too, and I'm
With
not
a tuna can, leaves in a tuna can,
No way.
Oh.
and he would puff it.
Yeah.
And then calm down and.
That's
got the honey.
crazy.
Huh.
I'm not a bee guy at all. I just, I mean, I've got some friends that do the bee work and stuff.
Mom
And
and dad have a few. hives.
I saw that.
Yeah. Russ Snow has some.
Yeah.
But the only time we ever exterminate bees if there's danger to the public.
Have you seen the Africanized bees?
Oh,
Is this real
I
or
met-
is it just
Yeah, I always felt like it was
is this
kind of a
media
myth.
hoax?
okay. You ready for
Yeah.
it?
Oh, you about to reveal?
I met him in Leonard, Texas.
Really?
I never owned a bee suit until the year was about 2008.
Oh, okay, we're good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even own a bee suit, and I've been taking care of bees. And like I say, I won't kill a bee unless there is imminent danger to the public.
Right.
So, never even owned a bee suit. So I go to a house in Leonard, Texas, a little bit south of town, and I crank my spray rig, the machine on the back of the truck, and the vibration off the motor was what it took. Because the guy called, he said, every time I mow over in that area, I get creamed. Well, I cranked that thing up. It's that frequency off that small motor, and it made them furious. And let's just say I ran, and I'm not going to win any Olympic medals. I ran pretty darn fast.
Well, you can compete in
So-
the women's now. So,
how
maybe.
far-
Oh my
how far
gosh,
from-
I saw that.
How far from the hive are you?
I ran about a quarter mile. And
No, when you crank it up, how far is that engine for?
I was probably
motor
about
from
20 feet from it because they
Okay.
kept pointing at a corner of the house. And I'm
close
like,
enough for them to see, like
Yeah.
closely. Yeah.
And that vibration was all it took. And so anyway, a few of us went out there individually, and each one of us came back not looking so healthy.
And they attacked like it was a
attacked.
noticeable attack.
So what happened? So then I go and get the bee suit, and I decide, okay, I don't care how big or tough you are. Bees start flying at your face as fast as they can. You're not real tough. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
And I've got this suit. I'm very protected. I'm not going to get stung. I don't
They can
care who
sting
you are.
through it.
Well,
They
this is
could.
pretty good suit.
Yeah.
But when they fly at your face and hit that net and that mask and stuff, I'm sorry, you flinch. You better flinch. It's crazy. Well, so what happens is, it's a white suit, and I look down, and there's no bees on the white suit. They're all around my face. So they were attacking. They were going for your eyes, your nose, your throat, and all that stuff.
Yep.
And that's how they kill you.
Yep. Swell you up.
Yes.
God.
And
Swell your throat up. You
And-
suffocate.
it's amazing. They're kamikazes.
Haven't you
I
seen
mean,
My
they're
Girl?
born to kill.
Yeah. So they exist.
They exist. We had a large. We looked at some stuff. We had a large number of farmers that would be out on a tractor and get stung and actually fall off the equipment and get
Oh,
killed.
because you want to get somewhere when you start getting.
You got to leave.
Yeah.
And you can't jump
Pool
in.
is what I'm
Well,
always
the,
like.
the pool's good, but you got to come up. They're going
Right.
to wait. They're going to hang
that's
out.
not a good idea.
I mean, if that's all you
well,
got.
like I'm out in the field walking the dog, and I walk past a hive. Let's say it terrifies me. I just walk, very calmly past.
Well, if they're Africanized,
No, these are just my parents' bees.
Oh,
that are
no, they're
honeybees.
oh my gosh, there's
But it always worries me. What do you do
Yeah.
if they start attacking you or my dog? Like I gotta at least go to the pond or a
Yeah.
pool or inside. I guess that would make
Sorry,
more
Stella.
sense.
Love you.
Yeah.
You just got to run faster than her.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, true.
It's scary. It's
I don't know if I
scary.
do that.
So they will kill you.
Yeah.
So, but that's the Africanized, the European, the honeybees we see that people have on their farms and stuff. No problem. Those things are as docile as dogs and
They'll
cats.
criticize your outfit and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like you want some of this honey, you're gonna have to be sweet to me.
French honeybees. You wore that today?
They hurt you in other ways.
Yes. They just criticize your soul.
Yeah. You don't have universal health care? Sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
But I did see what you saw a while ago that you referred to about the Olympics and the stuff. I'm like,
Did you see that
I was so upset when I saw that. That girl,
boxer
42 seconds and bailed out.
beat the hell out of that woman?
That is
heard
just,
about it.
I don't even want to go there. God, I'm so opinionated about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not good to be in business and have opinions.
No, it's not.
You're just
We're
neutral.
recording. We're recording right now.
I'm Switzerland, man. I don't, everything's okay by me.
Yep.
It's hard. The first,
Should have punched her again. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! One of the best pieces of advice I got when I was younger and going into business, the guy goes, "Don't run for anything at all. School board will ruin your business. City council will ruin
really
your
will.
business.
Yeah.
It's like just remain as neutral as possible. If you don't like something, just smile."
Well, I was going to say you're on the economic development board.
Oh boy, God, I've been a little,
I mean, I was going to credit your public service in that regard.
yeah, we do a bit of that, and I've always thought it's a great thing to be involved in your community and help give back. Got a little backlash lately on a little project we were working on.
You don't have to get into it if you don't want to.
I
That's
like
up
it.
to you.
No, because I want people to
I'm curious
understand.
now.
Oh well. So we're doing this thing, and I'm just learning all the rules on all this. So we've got these bylaws and things, and what we can and can't do with certain funds. They're a percentage of the sales tax money that the city collects, and it is earmarked to improve the city, pull in new businesses, do
Economic development. Corporation.
It's so obvious.
Right.
Well, we were out talking one day, just looking about things we could do to make the city look a little nicer, clean it up, and we just thought the streetlights around the square were old and outdated. Not a big deal. And we started getting some bids and things, and it looked like it may happen. But boy, the town's not happy. They think that money needs to go to street repair, but legally it can't.
It just can't.
It cannot.
Yeah.
It is.
Like, maybe it does need to go to street repair,
no,
but it just can't.
It's not a false statement.
And we totally agree. I mean,
Yeah.
we'd love to be able to do that. We
That's
by the
just
rules
not what it's.
as they're set out, and we're all sworn to do what the thing says. We just can't put that money to that. But the other thing is, to not do anything is even more foolish because.
Well, I mean, you got the money, and it's earmarked for certain things.
And it's a place to start is the square. We want to clean it up. We want a nice looking square. You go through some of these other towns, and they've got neat looking street lights and planter boxes, just some really cool looking stuff.
Square
Well, it's time for that too because Leonard's in the growth path.
Yes, we are. And it's just little things that you're not really going to pay much attention to 5 years from now.
Right.
But if you can do a few little things that kind of pave the way, it sure makes it easier.
Yep.
Not to get too philosophical, but I read an essay by a guy I follow on X, and he was talking about the importance of beauty and like how our architecture's all gone super modern, super clean lines, which is cool, and I like modern stuff too. But if you look back at some of the Art Deco and the Gothic stuff, like we've lost something. And
you've seen the comparison of 500, 600 years ago, a lamppost or something compared to today.
Yeah.
It's like this gorgeous Corinthian lamppost with lights blooming off of
gargoyles
it,
off of
flowers
it.
and gargoyles and ceramic.
Yeah.
And then today's is like a square pole.
Yeah.
With
well, it's like, do you remember I'm not a
fine.
huge motorcycle guy, but like the dirt bikes back in the 70s had these like cool round lights and everything. And then the 80s came and it was like these square, and everything just looked.
Jeep even went square with their headlights.
See, it's form over function now, or function over form, I should say. And there should be a balance to it.
Yeah.
And see, on those things, I think it's changed just to change. I would be
But
okay.
you got to update. You got to change. I mean, that's
Well,
like the car goes through body styles every 5-10 years. You
I
get a
agree.
new body style and things.
But the classics are always the classics.
Yeah.
It's hard to.
Rogan was talking about the '68 Camaro. Like,
Yeah.
there's something
Nobody
about
cares
it
about a
that-
91
No,
Camaro.
nobody cares about the '90s. Nobody
Yeah.
cares about the '80s.
Yeah.
That's not the gas thing. It's just there's something about that,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
he's spot on.
Well, I mean, the classics never go out of style, right? A navy blue blazer and a white shirt looks good.
True.
You know.
Yep.
Yep. I got a question real quick. Can a cockroach survive the apocalypse?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Absolutely. They've been here for so long. Yes.
That's your take.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're born. Well, think about this. They're one of the things in the world that is born to survive the second it comes on this earth. Its entire existence is about survival. It doesn't produce anything. It doesn't. It's not a great dad to the family.
Just a
no.
scavenger. I would
It
assume.
just is there to survive, and they will find a way.
Source of protein that the liberals want us to eat.
Yeah.
Well,
The bug men.
Yeah.
crazy. So, yeah, they'll be here long after we're gone, and it's okay.
Can they just eat anything, or do they just eat?
Well,
What do they eat?
Yeah.
don't even
I mean,
know.
it's trash or
honestly,
or scraps and stuff.
it's a lot of food crumbs, a lot of things where people just aren't doing a great job cleaning stuff up. And a little bitty bit of that will last such a long time. They're so efficient.
Wow.
Huh.
Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
So when they just move from, I mean, how do they know where the crumbs are?
Well,
How do they know?
Well, here's the
How
deal.
do you know where the beer is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
From the
know.
store.
It's where the neon sign
I
is.
smell it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
sniff my
It's
way
that
to the
vibration.
store.
It's funny. The phone will ring. We'll ask some questions, and they'll say, "Yeah, we're seeing some roaches," and I can answer their questions before I ask them.
Yeah.
Where are you seeing those things
Kitchen.
at?
Yeah.
Yep, and a bathroom. Okay. Did those back up to each other? I'll be darned. How did we know? It's
Did your kids just start making sandwiches for themselves?
Yeah.
and
You've got cockroaches.
Yeah.
and so what I'll do is I'll go and I'll have to do that little talk like a parent to a child and go, is it necessary to leave empty pizza boxes in each bedroom?
Yeah.
Well, why do we do that? You can't do that. You just can't do that. So it's
Why not?
but it's been a pretty good living, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to complain.
Yeah. People are always going to be, you know.
Yep. And it's the excuses are
Sloppy
pretty
and-
amazing. I love the excuses. I really think I need to do a few chapters in a book on the excuses.
Well, I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
thinking, we always used to joke
Oh, I
about
just am a slob.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be I would love somebody to just say, "Look, I'm just trashy
I'm
and don't care."
embarrassed. I'm sorry. I will clean my house. Yeah. We used to talk about the hibachi chef making
Yeah.
the volcano and how it just takes a little piece of his soul every
breaks him.
time. And it's like every time you get the cockroach call, you're just like,
Yeah. Here we go.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's the worst part about being in pest control? And it could be that
All the
que-
humorous stories.
It could very well
Well-
be that awkwardness where you have to tell somebody to clean
Yeah,
their
that's
home,
tough. Well, okay.
or
there's-
just somewhere you're like,
All right.
here we go
bet
again,
it's-
here we go again moment, or
I bet
same
it's
old.
economic dependent too.
Very much so.
Like-
But here's the one that probably is the toughest on me. So we have this thing called delusional parasitosis. Okay, so that's exactly
I
what
bet
it
I can
sounds like.
apply that to some
I've-
things.
I don't think
people-
that's a medical term.
It is medical. People believe bugs are on them, biting them, things like
Uh-huh.
that, and there's nothing there, and it's completely mental. But you can't go down that path.
So do you have meth heads calling you thinking?
He's actually
Oh,
dual
never thought
certed.
about
He's
that.
a psychologist and
Yep.
a pest control person.
We do.
Interesting.
You really have to, I guess, know the customer, figure the situation, and
Yeah.
So I
evaluate.
have a cockroach infested. Where at? My arm?
Yep, we've had it.
No way.
We've had.
You don't want to light that cigarette, then you put that back. Like, is this
Holy
flammable
smokes.
out here? You know?
That's a wild idea.
But
there.
you have to respect them because these are people and they truly believe that. If it was just one of those bad drug trips or something crazy, you could kind of laugh a little bit more. But these people actually think spiders are biting them.
Sorry, I took a bunch of
Okay.
mushrooms.
Are we talking drug users, or are we talking
No.
just delusional people? And
Typically, the
schizophrenic?
elderly.
Okay.
It is a true
Gotcha,
mental
okay.
condition.
I'm not trying to make
gotcha.
fun of the
And-
elderly and folks that have dementia or
And
whatever.
it is a medical term and all that stuff. And
I thought you were going
It's-
meth head with that.
No,
Funny,
no,
it's
no.
funny subject matter, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was funny. To me.
Yeah, but you have to. I don't know. It's kind of one of those deals where I think of it like a teacher in school, and you got this one kid that's just not catching up. And you just want to help him. You just
The
want
earth is flat.
Yeah. So, you're like, okay.
Well, all you can do is say you put the bait out, you set the
that's
traps.
That's it.
And hey,
and as bad as I hate to say it, they want to see you spray something about spraying liquid something. And I'm like, I can't.
That vinegar and Dawn soap.
Yeah.
And baking powder.
It'll help them out
They'll be
anyway.
like, all right, thank God.
So they want to
So
see.
it may give them the peace of mind that
That's exactly
that does
it.
something where, hey, he did that, and that's helped, and in my mind, it helped.
And
whatever.
And you talk and visit with them
It's
a little
the
bit.
placebo effect.
That's exactly what it is. And so it's real.
We learned something.
And it's like I say, it's one of the tougher parts because you got to really respect. If these people are just goofy, but no, they actually have
If I have a bug on my arm next time, I want to question it.
Yeah.
good looking. But I will be
can't call
honest.
Andy.
Laugh at this though. I will do a flea job for somebody, and I promise you, I'm feeling fleas as I'm getting out of there, and there's nothing on me.
Hey,
So
so I know a natural remedy for fleas:
what's your natural remedy?
Bodark balls, horse apples,
I have heard that.
and when I lived
Sticky.
in East Texas,
Yep.
we lived on a pier and beam house.
Yep.
And we had our dogs get fleas, and they kind of slept not under the house, but kind of right beside it. And so we threw a couple under the house, and it pushed them in the house.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then we had to get the real people to come out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But they did move.
It did move them.
They moved.
There's got to be a good use for those things.
You can eat them.
Like glue.
Did you know that?
No.
I just found that out this year. You can eat them.
Have
There's
you?
a certain I want to though. They say they're not very good, but they do have a
the
nutritional
Osage?
content. Osage orange,
Osage orange or
horse apple, or
horse
bodark ball.
apple, whatever.
No.
What do you call them?
Horse apple.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Horse
I
apples.
just
Horse apple. Osage. Osage.
I hadn't heard the
Os-
Osage.
Osage orange.
Hadn't heard of that one yet.
Yeah, from the Osage
That's the
Indians.
technical. Yeah, that's the
Well,
Indian
bodark.
name.
Bodark.
Ball.
Oh, like a bodark fruit, I guess, is what it would be.
Mock orange, the hedge apple, a hedge.
Hedge apple, I've heard that. Yeah.
Horse apple, a pap.
Never
Monkey
heard that.
ball. That's the one I didn't want to say the wrong thing. Monkey brains.
Why? You say the
Because
wrong
I
thing
do say
quite
this. Yeah, I know. I edited that out. Monkey brains and yellow wood.
Yeah, well, yellow wood, that makes sense. The wood is yellow.
French for bow wood. I guess they make bows out of wood.
It's hard.
Interesting.
Makes sense. Probably flexible.
I love when you
One thin.
it's the bodark tree. I love when you're got your GPS going. It says turn left on Boys DR.
Yeah,
OSDR.
I know. I noticed
Well,
that too.
how old were y'all when you learned how to say it?
Yeah.
I was
Sixth grade for me, probably.
sixth grade when I moved here because we didn't have them in
The
East
street?
Texas.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Um,
everybody's got a Bodark Street, but
Yeah.
seeing it is
Bodark Bottom is how I learned it.
Yeah. Everything
Yeah,
was
Bodark.
man,
bodark.
Bodark. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Also, too, they use them to make live hedgerows, like living fences.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, you take the horse apples, you put them in like a bucket and let it get rained on, and it they rot and they turn into a slurry, and you dig a trench and you pour it out, and then when the shoots come up, you zip tie them to each other, and they say a chicken can't get through it.
Wow.
Like it gets crazy. Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if you're a chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you want to contain some chickens.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got for me?
I mean, I'm kind of at the end of it.
Yeah,
You
we-
got any
we-
questions for Mr. Andy here in the Noble Resources Pest? I keep wanting to say
Pet
pet.
control. No,
Pet
we
control.
do have
People
pets.
do need to control their pets
They
here.
do-
Have you
they
seen
sure
the
do.
random dogs of Leonard, Texas?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, speaking of fleas, though, we get flea calls, and 100% it is a dog and cat problem.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't treat your dog and cat, I can't fix it. I
That's
cannot fix it.
That's what I wanted to ask. What's your typical residential kind of treatment? Somebody around here, they want to get rid of cockroaches, mosquitoes, you name it. Something that'll.
Well, just to say, you just call me out of the clear blue and say, hey, I just want to just general pest, nothing specific.
Once you come out, spray my house inside and out.
Yep.
So
So we're going to come.
make sure we don't have anything spiders.
We're
and
going to treat
whatnot.
inside. We're going to treat your attic. We're going to treat the perimeter around your house about 10 feet out. More than anything, we're getting a good inspection. I want to look at your house, see what's going on. A lot of times we get in there, and that's when we find termites. So it's good. my theory is, yes, we push quarterly pest control. We're in the pest control business. But if you can get your house checked and sprayed once a year, you're way ahead of the game. There's not much that's going to do much damage in the course of a year.
So if you don't like going to the dentist, maybe just go once a year.
Go once a year.
What you're
Call
saying.
it good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Say,
kind of
okay.
like that exam.
It'll give you a
we
little piece
none
of
us like
peace of
either.
mind.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's it. So it's just a nice checkup.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a few things there to prevent things for you down the road. So it's pretty good stuff. I'm pretty proud of what we do. So.
Okay, and what's your service area?
Service. Oh my gosh, we have a huge service area. We go basically Paris to Gainesville.
Okay.
We go to Dallas, and then we start heading back this way. We head down past Rockwall. We get over to Commerce, come back up.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
big
pretty
northeast.
nice little footprint.
Yeah. So and obviously we still have the Dallas office. So I've got a guy kind of
Okay.
specialty down there. He's kind of stays Dallas Fort Worth.
A little more commercial oriented.
Very commercial, very urban.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got a few questions for you.
Shoot
5
away.
questions every time.
Five
Every
questions.
episode we do 5 questions. Here we go.
Cool.
When was the last time you were on a boat?
The last time I was on a boat would be about a month ago. When
Solid answer. We like that.
yeah, and there's just a quick story to check the hail damage. It was my boat.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
What kind of boat is
Hail
it? Is it a pontoon?
It is a pontoon.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got a pontoon story.
What kind of hail damage on a pontoon?
It's actually parked under cover, but the front, that sheet metal around the very front,
Yeah.
got little dents all in it.
Yeah.
So hopefully the paintless dent guy can do me a solid here.
Yeah.
I bought a pontoon boat. I was really excited. Then I got deployed to the border. I bought the boat for like $5,000. It was an older one.